There's a sale going on right now, and the item is Toronto condos. Now let's make one thing clear. Me saying that Toronto condos are undervalued is not me saying that they're inexpensive or cheap. It's kind of like if a BMW is available on sale instead of regular price, you're still paying $50,000 just instead of $55,000. And as we near the end of January 2022, what's gonna happen is the average condo in the Toronto proper is gonna be worth over $750,000. And that means for somebody trying to buy a property on one income, if you're not already in the market, you have to earn over $100,000 a year and have a pretty healthy down payment. So Toronto condos are expensive, but they're undervalued compared to every other asset class. I briefly mentioned this in other videos, but I want to take some time today in this video to really break it down for you. Just before we get into that, if you like this type of real estate content, you can click like on this video and maybe subscribe if you like this type of content. And my name is Tom. I do run a real estate team here in Toronto. We sell a lot of condos and we sell a lot of homes. If you want to book an appointment with us, you can go right into the first link in the description. In February of 2020, just before the pandemic, condos were doing really well. They were having great momentum as they had been for basically the decade prior. But then when the world got shut down, condos took a beating in 2020. In fact, they went down 10 to 15% depending on the specific area that the condo was located. But at that same time frame, freehold townhouses, semi-detached properties, detached properties kept soaring because everyone was leaving condos trying to get more space in 2020. And if we fast forward to 2021, condos had a great year. They were up almost 19%, but so was every other type of property. So they didn't really catch up. So from 2020, every other asset class just went like this, where condos went like this and then they went back like this, but the gap is still huge. So just before the initial lockdown that happened, the gap between a condo and a detached property in the city of Toronto was about $700,000. Today, it is over $1 million. So it's 30% more expensive to get a detached property than it was just 2 years ago as compared to condos. Now I'm going to show you a graph on the screen here and walk you through it, and shout out to Peter at Compass Group for allowing me to use this graphic. I found it on his Twitter and got his permission. So basically what we're looking at here is the price difference between a condo and a detached in Toronto proper. And if you go back to 2013 at the beginning of the chart here, it was about $400,000 difference. And if we keep moving over time, it got about $800,000 difference. And then if you look in 2017, when we had that crazy beginning to that year, which by the way is feeling a lot like right now in 2021, we did get over $1 million. But then you can see fair housing came into place in April of 2017, foreign buyer tax. Psychologically, people took their foot off the gas pedal for a little bit of time and prices started coming down a little bit. And then as you see over time, for a while there, up to 2020, it was about $700,000 to $800,000 difference. Right now, we've blown past $1 million in terms of price difference from condo to detached properties. About 3 months ago, I posted this on my Instagram, and what it said is that right now, the gap between condos and detached properties is over $1 million. That is 30% higher than usual. So expect condos to see significant growth into the future. And we've already started seeing this playing out. And even though condos are playing catch up right now, they're going up in value, but so are homes. And the homes are starting at a higher value. So if you look at all the other asset classes, specifically homes selling outside Toronto right now, just take a look on Twitter, go see what's going on. These properties are going $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 up in value in less than sometimes 2 years in markets outside Toronto. So compared to everything else that's going on, condos are undervalued, and I think they have a lot of runway. And I do really think that 2022, just like my predictions video said, will be the year of the condo. Because if you look at who buys condos, okay, you basically have 4 categories. You have your first-time home buyer. They buy condo because that's what they can afford. Then you have your investor. They buy condos because it's easier to be a landlord of a condo than it is being a landlord of a house. Then you have your typical downsizer. They sell their house and move into a bigger floor plan, older condo. And then you have the luxury market. And the luxury market buys the big condo. Now, condos can service each type of people. But if you want to buy a freehold property, well, basically, let's start with $1 million and then go from there. And that is a smaller portion of all the sales that are happening. I took a breakdown of every single sale that happened in the GTA last year. So not just the city of Toronto, but the GTA under $1 million, and condominium apartments and condominium townhouses made up almost 70% of sales under $1 million. So there's two ways this plays out. The last time the gap was over $1 million was 2017. And that's when the government came in and stopped things and home prices fell a little bit, and that got the gap closer. Right now, I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but condos are playing catch up. So either home prices need to come down, which I just don't see happening, or condo prices are going to accelerate. So I'm saying right now that if you buy a condo today, even though the market is very difficult to get in and there's multiple offers on everything, it will be worth more money by the end of this year. Just based on everything that I'm seeing, that's what the numbers are telling me. So condos are really undervalued to me. I think there's a lot of opportunity in that segment, but with all my videos, the message I want to get across to you is if you're buying a condo, it's long term. Because unless you're manufacturing cash flow by putting down like 40% plus on this condo, it's probably not going to cash flow on a monthly basis. So that means that if you're buying a condo as an investor, essentially you're speculating that the market's going to keep going up. And if you've been doing that for the last decade, you've been doing really well because you've made a lot of money. But over time, I think you should buy asset classes that we know are going to appreciate. And if I just look right now, what I'm seeing in terms of the numbers and the metrics, what it's telling me, condos are going to have a big year because right now, compared to every other asset class, they're underpriced. So what do you think? Do you think I've got a point here, or do you think I'm way off in my evaluation of what I think is going to happen? Either way, I would like to know your opinion. So throw it down in the comments. I will hang out there and respond to every single one on this video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Tom Storey, and remember, home is where your story begins, and condos are currently undervalued.